Today I have the pleasure of talking with Andrew. Andrew, would you like to introduce yourself to the community?
Hello, yes, I'm Andrew James. I have two hats really. One is the Cotswold Vocal Studio here on my shirt, where people come and do some singing, and the other one is I play a lot of live events around the Cotswolds, mostly.
Fabulous. How did you get into it?
Obviously, right from childhood, I was playing music, but how did I get into the live stuff? Late, actually. People said, why are you doing other jobs when you can sing and play like you do? You should be making your money doing that. Still not sure that that was a great life decision, but anyway, that's the direction I went in. And I've managed now to sort of get myself in quite a nice position where I get a lot of nice bookings for nice people. Afternoons, I don't really work in the evening anymore unless it's a nice bar. How many times can I say nice? And then just before lockdown, actually, purposely don't have musicians. I have a few musicians, but mostly it's inverted commas, real people who want to come and have a go at singing for whatever reason. Some people just have always wanted to do it. A few are kind of high school age, but mostly adults. Some confidence boosting, which is really rewarding. Mostly just, I've always wanted to sing. I feel stupid. Can I come and have a go and you won't laugh? And then we do laugh, which is the point. But anyway, I digress a bit. Yeah, how did I get into it? Yeah, from being a child, really, playing music at school, going through natural progression. Let's start doing some live work, and then this came after.
Amazing. When did you start your business in inverted commas?
I reckon my first ever little gig. I think I got in my car when I was in the sixth form. I was 17, and I think I got paid £50. Can you believe that? I'm now 43, so you can sort of do the maths. So yeah, but I'd always played all through school, bits and bobs, and that's, by the way, playing the piano and singing when you're at a high school is
Cool.
both good for you and possibly bad for you. But it does get you used to getting out there and doing it, even if you're not particularly comfortable with playing in assembly. Yeah, so their first sort of professional engagement, 17. I had other little jobs that I was doing alongside. Did a couple of bits on TV when I was 19, 20. And then I went for it then, really 20-ish. I just thought, right, let's do this.
Amazing. And through all that time, have you got any particular customers or clients, however you call them, kind of one of those stories that you can share with us today?
Yeah, one great one. Well, client, it's never been in that kind of engagement. You might or might not remember MySpace. Somehow I connected with a lovely lady and family actually out in Nashville, and they came to a London gig. They were over in London, and
Wow.
as many Americans do, they said, you just got to come over and stay. As you do. Anyway, so I did. I was mid-20s, went over there. I ended up going 3 times in 1 year. I go as often as I sort of can afford to and get the green light to go. And it's just great. You go out there. That is my favorite, although it's not actually a client, that's my favorite connection, because you get out there and play some songs in some really small bars to about 25 people, but it just, it rejuvenates your love for songwriting and music. So yeah, that's probably, but I am lucky. I get a lot of repeat clients. Yeah, they'll get married, then they'll have a party, then they'll do something else, they'll do something. I'm very lucky with that.
Amazing. And what a story, the culture and experience of that part of the world that's so key to song.
Honestly, if you haven't been, go. It's not all there is lots of that. It's just a great town to go and visit and have a few beers. It's brilliant.
Amazing, thank you. So, very different question, but were there any business changes that you'd considered before COVID that then COVID made a necessity?
Yeah, definitely. I remember saying to my wife, really foolishly, I don't think this COVID thing will affect me too badly because, it's all private client and it's not 1,000 people. Anyway, as it got worse and worse and worse, obviously everybody knows the story. You were down to 30 people, then you were down to 6 people. So I almost immediately started doing some live streaming, which a lot of musicians did, which is great. And then I sort of, well, here we are on Zoom now. So everything's changed, hasn't it? So all my business calls now with brides and grooms are, which is better, shall we jump on a Zoom call? Because brides and grooms, they love to talk about their wedding, which is fine. But there goes another 2 hours of my time that's tricky to charge for. And a lot of the time you're talking about where the PowerPoints are and what time you're going to turn up, all of which could be done on an email. But it's nice to feel special and chat to them. And we can do it like this. And it's great. And I've got the piano here too, so we can discuss things and actually play through a few ideas for, their bridal entrance or whatever. The lion's share of my work is weddings. And so, yeah, that changed immediately. And I actually like it. I don't have a problem talking to people like this, interviewing like this. We're very lucky, actually. We've just adopted a little 2-year-old girl, and every single stage of the way was online, which was new for them, and all the authorities. So yeah, that was one big change. And then the other change was pushing the Cotswold Vocal Studio more, because I thought, well, okay, it's one at a time. We just said before we started recording, my job, I'm often with 200, 250 people 2 or 3 times, in a week. And so obviously that just disappeared. And people are now hugging and it's nice to go and play weddings now and see people being human beings again and interacting with each other. But yeah, that was my biggest change. And I spent hours and hours trying to figure out the tech. Hours.
Yes, it is the toughest. And is tech where it should be now? I mean, it's a big question.
I think the tech I think the tech has been there for a long time. I listen to a lot of podcasts about the music business, not actually musicians. And, so many of them go, my wife's a mathematician. Now she doesn't fly anywhere. She was flying 4 days a week across America, whatever, not good for airlines, but great for the environment. But I think what's missing is and I actually don't know how many people have jumped on this, but is how to use it. I love to practice the just-in-time learning thing. So if I don't know something, I'll either do a course or I'll get on YouTube and learn it. But I won't go into it because it's a bit dull, but I did something called the Stay Sane sessions all the way through lockdown, which to start with were twice a week, an hour. And I'd get requests from, my husband's stuck on the coast of Costa Rica. Can you play him our wedding song XYZ? And then he'd come back next week and go, oh, I heard it, blah, blah. So that was great. But I spent at least a full working week, if not more, at home in our little dedicated room, figuring out Zoom, the delay that you get with Zoom, figuring out the best platform for the corporate gigs I did during lockdown. There's so much. And if there was a one-stop place, there's a business idea for somebody. I'm sure someone's doing it already. But if there was a one-stop place that there probably is now, how to live stream with music, with the delay, but it did take a long time to get it right. And, so I think the tech is there. Yeah. Green screens and everything else.
Perfect. Thank you. And what do you think, keeping on the theme of learning, since becoming a business owner and transitioning from that self-employed into a business owner position, what would you say your biggest learning's been?
Accounts. keeping my accountant happy. I know everyone goes, oh, snore, but you change from just doing tiny weeny little accounting package to card readers and bits and bobs. So you stay out of self-employment to business owner, yes, but still I don't have a big team of people helping me. So it's so easy to make one mistake. That's, I mean, Wix, if you do your own website, you might want to get someone to help you with your SEO and all that stuff. But if you want to try and keep it quite small and manageable, um, you can learn all that stuff. But accounting. Oh, but yeah, you know, and I've got an awful lot of learning to do about, well, exactly what you guys, I guess, advise about, and that's how to get the word out to the right people.
Yeah.
It's so, I do not really want to get into SEO and all that stuff. It's just so dull. I want to be writing music and helping my clients, but it's so important. And all I do is, a few hashtags in the right social medias, and I'm probably missing a massive amount of business, which I don't want to digress too much, but over the last couple of weeks, I've had quite a bit of remote vocal work. So that's people in Australia, people wherever, on a particular website that say, Andrew, we love your voice. We need a top line vocal on this. That mixed with less clients, maybe more virtual clients. That's where I'd like to go. And that's where I need to probably now do the most learning.
Yeah, no, it makes perfect sense. And it's so interesting, and it's great when people recognize this is my learning and here's the rest of my journey.
I love it.
Good old curveball thrown in every now and again.
Yeah. But then you've got to, if you're a business owner, you're a problem solver, aren't you? Every day is a problem. There's something that you have to figure out how to do. But I don't mind that. I love it. It's all part of the thrill, I think.
Yeah, no, I agree. Okay, then, sticking with that,
Mm-hmm.
if you were in front of your 18-year-old self, ignoring, time travel, what advice would you give yourself?
Learn to be an ice road trucker. I would say to myself, yeah, you're absolutely right with the learning. Just get involved with learning new skills now. When I was 18, I just said I was doing a little bit. I did a couple of bits on television, and I was starting to do, a few gigs, a lot of writing. But yeah, the resources weren't there. My A levels bored me silly. I was, like I said, I did my A levels in 96/7. Now you can do an A level in studio engineering and business. So there you go. All of a sudden, you've got a nice package if you're a musician. Whatever, it wasn't there. So my 18-year-old self would have been, I guess, get in the library and do stuff. But try saying that to most 18-year-olds. They're not going to want to do it. But yeah, I wish I could have just gone back and at least learn a bit more about the business of music business. And I've had, who will remain nameless. I think I don't know how old she is now. She just finished university, and she came and she was listening to me at a gig, and she said, "Can we have a coffee?" And I said, "Yeah, of course we can. What's up?" And she said, "I've just finished a degree in music, and I haven't got a clue how to make money from it." That's okay. That might not be all degrees, okay, but she did not know where to go, how to talk to a venue, how to address people when you get there, how to deal with a drunk person, whatever. All these things that if you're 18 and you could get involved in the resources that are out there now. So if anyone's 18 or younger in your community, please take it from me. Just learn everything you can about the direction that you want to go in, because it's all out there. Someone's done it.
Yeah, no, what great advice for the community as well, because it's so true. You wouldn't listen to your adult self if it came back, but somebody may listen who listens to us and is watching this now. So great advice, thank you. And then my last question for the day is, what is the most inspiring thing for you today? What inspires you?
Within this interview?
Or in life, either or.
I do get inspired doing these sorts of things because it makes me think. I'll finish this interview and I'll think about some of the questions, and but yeah, in life, sounds like a bit of an oldie fogey thing to say, but you were just saying about the young people. I do love it when you see people younger than you. It's really easy to get annoyed. younger, look, they're doing better than me, but it doesn't matter. We're just learning from these people coming up through the ranks now. Film scoring in my business, vocal coaching, vocalists, whatever it is. The younger guys that come in here keep me right on top notch with the music that's out there at the moment. I go, oh, I didn't know that one, and then that's a great song, and then we're able to take it in a different direction. So I get inspired often by the younger people who are coming to me either vocally or I hear about on my podcasts, and they're absolutely smashing it with their businesses. And I just think, come on, Andrew, like what, just because you're 43 or 53 or 63, whatever it is, get on with it and learn that skill, get better at it. Staying focused is my biggest problem, and that's what inspiration's all about, isn't it? You go, oh, I can apply that to here, to what I want to do. Did that answer it? I'm not sure that really answered your question.
Yeah, no, it does completely. It's a good,
Yeah.
it's a real answer of you find inspiration everywhere.
Yeah, you do, especially when you're in a business where you're talking to people all the time.
No, completely. Well, on that note, and our bombshell, that wraps up our interview today. Thank you so
Thanks
much
for your
for your
time.
time.
I really enjoyed it. Thank you very much indeed.